Right, so we are podcasting from South London. This is episode 1 of TFix Podcast called Coronavirus and How It Affects Our Tech Recycling Business. I'm Ted, the owner of TFix, and next to me is brilliant Anthony, my colleague and the supervisor of our repairs department.
How you doing?
During the podcast, we usually discuss the highs and lows of our tech recycling life. And today we're going to talk about how coronavirus affected our business and what we had to implement to ensure that we stay afloat during this interesting period. So, let's talk about how we were affected by the virus.
Yeah, I think it's been different for everyone, and I think especially for a workplace like us, where we do trade mostly online, don't we? It's interesting how it's affected us. It's quite different to, let's say, how it's hit the high street, and sort of the demand for our services now is sort of higher than it's been in quite a while, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's been quite. Yeah, it's been
So
busy.
we've been, I would say, quite lucky because, usually 60 to 70% of our business comes from online anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
So we only had to cut down to 30%. And
But-
obviously, we can't take any walk-in customers. Yeah.
That's
So
it.
we
but-
made a commitment to reduce this coronavirus spread by not taking any walk-in customers and closing ourselves completely from public and just locking ourselves down. Obviously, we had to lay off some employees.
Yeah.
So we don't have enough work for everyone, so we just kept essential employees and we put not employees out of work. Well, that's just the reality of things. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's it's sad, but it's at least we're still open. At least we're still
At least we're still open. At least we're still surviving. Yeah.
and when things go back to normal, and hopefully that will be. Well, hopefully that'll be sooner rather than later. I don't think.
Well, hopefully this year.
Hopefully this year, yeah. It's a bit scary. A lot of places where they will have their events, places where people will meet up. They're putting those events back, and a lot of people are now worrying they're putting them back, but not quite enough. There's big events, let's say, that have been moved from March into June and July, and there are already fears that hang about.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be back to normal in 4 months.
So the most important thing is not to lapse back. So we're gonna reach the peak of the virus, of the epidemic. Then it will probably slow down, and people will think everything's back to normal, and then they go back to living their lives as they were, interacting and stuff, and this virus can just bounce
It will
back
just
because
bounce
we
back.
still haven't got the anti-vaccine yet.
We've got
Antivirus,
no
yeah.
vaccine yet, and I know they're rushing through things like human testing, but I think these things all still take a while.
Well, they still say it's going to take 12 to 18 months to develop a vaccine. Yeah.
Yeah, which is a little scary, but
Yeah.
as long as we're all doing our parts, even if it's just the little things, just the basic hygiene
Exactly. Yeah.
recommendations, it's going to be okay. And I think that we're quite lucky in the sense that we can operate without a
Without
huge team.
human interaction. Yeah.
And without a lot of human interaction,
Yeah.
absolutely. And so we're in a business centre where we are, so we don't have a sort of a high street shop front, but it's also good to see how the building that we're in is dealing with it as well. So the building is now closed to the public, isn't it?
Completely shut down. There's no one dealing with reception, and the only person who we authorize to come in is the postman.
That's it. Yeah.
we,
Postman and
Yeah.
the couriers, but that's literally
Yeah, so we had people even going to an extent of dropping their stuff next to our door and just calling us and saying, "Well, I left it next to your door," and
Yeah,
go outside and pick it up.
I don't like that.
And I think no one likes that. So
Yeah.
even the people living 2 roads down from us, they call us and they say, "I can just come in. I just live two roads down," and we just simply have to say, "No, we can't do that. You're not supposed to be walking around.
That's it.
And we just send it. And we're gonna send it back to you. Yeah.
Because one thing, I mean, we've noticed there's an increase in customer inquiries as well. Lots of phone calls, and that's totally cool. People don't know sort of what situation that we're in. But even though we've had a real increased sort of volume of phone calls, I think only a handful of people have been even what you would class as slightly unreasonable about it. Most people, once you explain the situation, they know we're not asking people to send them in because we want to.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think there's a good understanding there from the general public, which is fantastic.
Yeah. So. Right, another thing that we've been dealing is that the parts. We're a recycling business, so we need lots of parts, and we get them from online sellers and usually from China. So, China seems to be back on track.
Yeah, they've bounced back.
They bounced back. So the parts that we ordered, they're coming from China, and they seem to be fine, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But it's just the delivery times have shot up.
Delivery times obviously have shot up, and the prices, especially the prices for used electronic devices on eBay, have shot up twice.
I never thought I would see that. Honestly, I thought
the price of the used Nintendo Switch is £400.
It's gone up. It's crazy.
It's insane. Used Nintendo Switch with a few games, £400.
And it's even the sheer amount of them. I mean, any given time, I knew that we could go onto, let's say, eBay and find 20 Nintendo Switches on for sale. Last time I checked last week, there was four that I would want to buy that hadn't been attacked by the dog or had beer spilt on them or something. There was barely any. So the demand has shot up and the price has shot up because of the demand.
Yeah, so let's talk about how we adjusted our situation and what we had to do and what we had to implement to make sure that we're still operational and we minimize the spread of the virus and we still can provide some workplaces and just keep our business going.
Yeah.
So we closed down completely to public. We're not accepting any walk-ins.
Yes.
We adjusted all of our websites to make sure they accommodate and so the people cannot order any appointments or anything, because even though that we kept saying to everyone we do not accept any walk-ins, we had an option of selecting a walk-in on the website and just people kept ordering it. They don't care.
Yeah, so I'll wander it in anyway. Corona.
So we have to change it completely and just to prevent people from even ordering it. And we still get yesterday at least 5 to 7, 8 people said, "Oh, I'm gonna come in. I want to come in. I want to drop my stuff to get fixed and stuff." Yeah. So we do not accept any walk-ins. Everything has to be processed via couriers or post.
Yeah.
And we removed all the abilities to even book any online appointments or anything online. Oh yeah. So we had once you used to call us, we used to have a message you have to listen to.
Yes.
Which was a minute message outlining all the stuff that customers usually call about. Mm-hmm. So we had to remove that just to improve our customer service. Yeah.
So I've noticed that I think the call volumes have gone up. I always wondered how many people's questions were answered by that message. I think quite a lot though.
Yeah, and the message that was there, to be honest, to prevent the advertisers. Because the advertisers would never wait a minute just to try to sell your kitchen.
Yeah, exactly that, yeah.
So, but now we don't have them working because everyone's shut down. We have to, we can return that direct interaction with the customers. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Obviously, we increased the hygiene standards.
Yeah, we've been increasing that. So, I mean, it's
washing our hands before we move.
After everything. Yeah, that's right. And even though it's quite nice to go out for a wander for lunch, we've quelled that a little bit as well. It's not the end of the world, and it's better than just walking around spreading stuff or
exactly.
Hopefully we don't get it, but
we come in, we wash our hands, we disinfect ourselves.
Exactly.
And we stay in until we finish work, and then we just go out. All of us are local, so we don't have to travel.
That's fortunate. That's very fortunate.
So our exposure to environment or to virus is completely minimal, and we don't have to take any public transport or anything.
Yeah, which is excellent. And so we're just very fortunate that we're in that situation. I think
Yeah.
if any of us had to take public transport, it might be a bit of a different story.
Yeah, it might be a different story. Yeah, as you can see, we keeping a social distance as much as we
Yes,
can, as long
yes.
as much as the microphones allow us to. And yeah, I think the last bit we should talk about is what are we going to do to ensure the business stays open?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, I mean, the volume for our work is there, and I think it's important that
Yeah.
we're just processing as much of it as we can. Still giving the good service that we do, but just really just keeping on top of it. If we haven't got to manage the reception on the premises, we'll just really focus on doing the orders in the labs.
Yeah, because when you think about it, you sit at home, locked down. You have your game console, you have your phone, you have your headphones, you have your computer, and when you lose the ability to have that, you can go mental.
Yeah, it's a lifeline. It's
And
a
you
lifeline to a
and
lot
you
of
can't
people.
buy much now because all of the stores are closed.
Yeah, even the powerhouses like Amazon.
Yeah, have you seen their delivery times?
Yeah, I know. I mean,
bloody hell.
I've ordered a couple of things the middle of last week that I'm still waiting for, and the reason they haven't come, even on their Prime services, well, look at the situation that the country's in right now. Things
Exactly,
are
yeah.
just taking longer.
Yeah, and Amazon kind of like relies on general population to deliver their goods.
Yes.
Royal Mail, they have a network of people which are employed, which have responsibilities to come to work, and they can control these people a bit more. So that's why they are brilliant now. Royal Mail being very consistent and being delivering stuff to us like pretty okay. Whilst Amazon, they haven't got any couriers, they haven't got any people delivering stuff.
Yeah, there's just no way around it. So I mean, I guess we're just trying to keep everything locked down. As long as we're processing everything via the post, it just we know that when the post comes, we've got our day's work there.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And the post has been coming like we're on the first floor, so the postman, when she comes in, she goes like, "Okay, I need to take a lift."
Yeah.
That's how many packages we get now. Yeah.
And I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, pleasantly surprised. It's good. But yeah.
And especially that posting is completely free of charge.
Yeah.
To us.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So to use our service, it doesn't cost you anything. You just go on the website, submit an order, and that's it.
And you can even print the labels off on the site, which I've always thought is quite good. Going to the post office and bringing a PlayStation can be a bit of a pain when you don't know what you're supposed to ask for. So since we're providing the labels, you can just whack it on the box and send it.
If you don't have a printer, you don't even have to print the labels. You have a QR code.
Yeah, I like
which
that
you
too.
have to show to the representative at the post office, and they're going to print the label for you.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. And the service that we provide is completely trackable. You can track it everywhere. You'll see like people might have an issue with trust. Say that they sometimes want to come in because they want to see the company they're going to be using and stuff. But
I do understand that as well. I do, and I have heard horror stories from customers. They're inquiring about us. They find us on Google. So we have got we've got a pretty solid rating, which we're happy with.
Yeah.
But I have
we do our best. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've had people calling in, and they have been stung by companies that do repairs, that do secondhand services, and so I can understand where the trust is lacking there.
Well, the stereotype of
It's the stereotype
of like typical repair shop,
That's
a
it.
corner shop where they fix phones. It's not very good right
or
now.
a guy in a shed at the end of his garden.
Oh yeah. He takes ages to do anything, and he takes the stuff to repair which he never seen before in his life, and
That's it. Yeah,
he has to
I will
put
Google
something
it.
together. Yeah. So so obviously the government is offering 80% grants to people who cannot work,
Yes.
and the reality of the thing is that it will help people survive, but it will close down a lot of businesses. Because even though people are getting paid by the government, where is the money coming from? Obviously, it's increasing government debt and so on. but it's not helping keeping businesses afloat because no one's doing the actual work.
Yeah.
And once the government support runs out, the business most likely will shut down. Like us, a small business, like us, if no one keeps up the business and we have no employees coming in and they have to stay at home and kind of like rely on government grants, the business is not there. It would be very naive to think that we can pick up where we left off once everything blows over.
I think that's the scary part.
Yeah.
That's the part that I'm the most worried about. I mean, as far as I know, at least no country has an exit strategy.
No.
It's not just us. That there is no exit strategy. This has
You
never
can't-
happened before.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. Like, there can't be any exit strategies because no one knows where is the exit, or no
Yeah.
one's ever done it before.
Or even what or when the exit is going to
Yeah,
be
or
like.
what's going to happen. Yeah. So for us, I think it's a lot. Like, it's very important just to keep people's sanity by providing, like, fixing their
Yeah.
electronics and making sure that they can do something about it. Yeah.
Because I do worry that the government grant, it feels like a bit of a band-aid. It's just a bandage.
It's definitely, yeah. It's not like government was hiding all this money away and then they just pulled it out now in an emergency.
Yeah.
The money is coming from somewhere, and